Are you serious? Are you serious? 5.5 Northern California? Well, the only reason why I come on here to do the video about that was because that's a little town that I lived in years and years ago up in Northern California. And it's up in a place called Lassen County. And the 5.5 was centered somewhere around Chester, which is 10 miles outside. But then later on the dreaded FB, when they came out and talked about it, they showed it more on the one of the shores of the Lake Almanor. So that's kind of an interesting place because I used to live there. And a few miles away is a volcano, Mount Lassen. Dormant for many years, but kind of interesting to that. And the people there felt it. 5.5, but it might have been bigger because somebody said, oh, it felt like it was a 6 or something like that. So, nobody really knows. They said 5.4, then it went to 5.6, and then it showed 5.4. So that's what I initially have it as a 5.4. But the way people said they felt it, it was probably a little bit larger. Infrastructure up there isn't really too good because it's just a little old logging town that got changed because of a prison and Wi-Fi, which brought jobs. And so a lot of people do live there. Whereas when I was a kid, there weren't lots of people there. I used to go up in the summer, cut wood for free with my grandpa. And that's where I learned how to do everything. Drive, split wood, anything like that. My grandfather taught me. And it was a great little town back then. And we used to always talk about, if anything ever goes down, this would be a great place to be. Well, not so much now because people moved up there with that idea. And because of Wi-Fi and everything else, it's actually a fairly decent sized town for just a few square miles. So it's not like this little sleepy town anymore. And they have their drug problems and stuff like that because of what it is. But somebody posted, and I'm going to tell you this, if you happen to live in an area like this, the fire department told us to boil water, because sometimes gas gets in the lines of the water, from your system. Well, up there's these little babbling brooks. And you could go up there and fill your water thing there, because there's plenty of it. And you could drink right off the rock. I've done it. I haven't been there for years, but I've drank water off of babbling brooks many times and never been sick. You don't want to just go drink out of a creek, though. You want to make sure that the water's kind of filtering over rocks, because animals pee in it and stuff like that, and you can get what they call giardia. So you don't want to just go drinking out of any water. You could buy a system. They're cheap. I actually thought about getting one. I've got everything with that. Little pumps the bad water and makes it good. So that's something to think about. Not much else to say, because I'm going to go home and listen to Pastor Paul and Mike from Around the World. They were already on, but I missed them. My headphone batteries were dead, so I didn't get to listen to it. So I'll just listen to it later. See what Mike from Around the World has to say. And I will post this video because I'm going to call it a 5.5, even though it marked a 5.4. Someone said they had heard it was a 6.4, but it never showed that. Some quake maps say near Reno, Nevada. Some quake maps say, where it is, off the shore of Lake Almanor. And there's a lake, yes. And if that had actually centered in that lake, that would have been bad. You would have probably seen that lake rock and roll. So, quakes aren't coming. And that's not even the big one. This is just a regular sized quake. But not normal for up there, because I live there. But they are coming, and there probably is a bigger one going to come. They've already talked about it. Cascadia Fault Line up in Washington. So just gotta be careful, because, like I said, you never know. So I told those people up there, I said, this is my old motto: food, water, supplies, enough to get you by for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. Don't be one of those guys that waits to run to a store. Don't be that guy. Make sure you're got enough. Here I'm always told, oh, you got too much water. Oh, you got too much. But I don't think anything's too much. Because everybody who does that, they just don't believe nothing's going to happen. Oh, it won't happen. You're high. Everything you say is a conspiracy. Well, we're going to find out. I'm sure the people up there, some guy a little older than me fell off his porch because it rocked so hard. So, it's just kind of a crazy thing, you know? And that's all I got to say. Just be prepared. Food, water, supplies, enough to get you through a couple weeks, and you'll probably be good. A lot of people up there don't do that, and even though there's lots of hunting and fishing and all that good stuff, a lot of them aren't prepared for any of that, and then things happen, and then what do? There ain't much they can do. That's why you got to be prepared. So, just thought I'd come on. Hadn't done a video in a while. I've done 4 or 5, cut them all. Just wanted to let you guys know, 5.4 to a 5.5 in Lassen, California. Chester is the little town. The town I lived in was called Westwood. It's not Los Angeles Westwood. It's a different Westwood. It was a little logging town back in the old days. Had a lot of memories there. Did a lot of things. That little town has changed quite a bit. They've even got highway patrolmen that drive around in there now. And we would see a highway patrolman once on a great moon, but not very often. Things change, the world changes, and you got to adapt. And as I always say, just be prepared because you never know, right? Right. So with that, everybody just hang in, and we'll see what happens. Stay prepared. I don't even know if Pastor Paul might mention that earthquake. He might, but he might not. We'll have to see. So anyway, my friends, peace. I'll be seeing you. You guys hang on in, and hopefully you don't get rocked by a big old quake. So, I'm home. You guys take care, and I'll be seeing you.